Shall we go
It is?
live? Then there we are. We'll go live at
no,
2100 GMT. Just
Should we keep talking about that woman you were telling me about? Oh, are we live? Oh,
well,
okay.
I'm not sure that we can really, but I can't believe I can't believe the things she said about you. That's what surprised me the most.
I'm so impressed.
Really did.
So have you got a topic for today, or are we just rambling?
Well, I thought I was. Oh no! Now I've forgotten what I was going to ramble on. We were just talking about telegrams, and all sorts of
the
other
olden days when Gary and I were young.
Yeah,
and I had
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, one of the sort of staggering things is that when the Boer War, the way they laid out the communication telephone lines was extraordinary. How quickly they did it and ran them out for miles and miles and miles and miles. Hello, Northside. Hello, Rev. Hello, Johnny. Well, yeah, but I mean, it wasn't going through prepared land or anything like that. It's quite extraordinary. Now, be alarmed. This is your alarm. Now, look, I've got this.
Good.
I've got this.
Good. Right. I shall send you some files, and I'll send you an image file. You can just put on an SD and throw in your little thing.
Oh, look out. Look out. You see her.
Oh,
look out.
It's Lewis.
Everyone's like, have you got one of these and one of these, Lewis? Or Louis, even?
Louis. Yeah, I have both.
Good.
Well, he's
because I want people in all quadrants of the globe.
The only thing I won't have a lot of is ADSB traffic going past.
It's all right.
That'll be the only thing I won't have a lot of. But I'm sure Louis has in his part of Portugal.
I'm looking
just looking
for something more.
Heck, RF1, yes. Well, you've got yours from Great Scott.
Yeah, no, you can use that for that. So the files. So how are you releasing these files? As
the beta testers will get an ISO, and I'll send an ISO file which has everything on it. But I'm trying to find people that have a little bit of understanding of stuff like Python, because if there's any changes, it's easier to, rather than sending a whole of several gigabytes, just edit the file, and also if there's any error messages that you encounter, you can let me know what they are. So.
No, surely.
What's the minimum Raspberry that you need?
A 4.
Okay.
I haven't tried it on the 3. It may work on a 3, but I've written it to work on a 4 with 2 gigs.
Have you tried on the Raspberry
Pi Zero?
The zeros?
I haven't tried it yet, but I'll have a look. I'm not quite sure. It should run on that because it doesn't use a lot of memory, but I haven't tested it yet.
Because I have I got a bunch of those new ones, Raspberry Pi Zero 2W or whatever. Yeah, that's it.
These.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the problem with these is you've got to have a converter for the USB dongle because they have a micro USB.
That's just what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's why I was just getting mine out to see, because I couldn't remember. There's mine. I couldn't remember how that works. Now, they came with one of those adapters, didn't they? But
mine didn't. Mine just came in a bag.
No, mine came with one, but some Pixie seems to have run off with it. It's not in the little box here. So for those people that don't know, what are we talking about testing here, Brucey? What's going to happen?
It's a burglar alarm for your freedoms, and people try and steal your freedoms.
I should have had it earlier then to stop the Pixies stealing the
ADSB alarm, and the version that I've been working on, which has basically HDMI output and an Android app for your phone. So because you've got to be able to set your location and parameters like the alarm altitude and radius and things like that. And it's got some more smart features now, so that if an aircraft is approaching, it will alarm. But once the aircraft starts departing, the alarm stops, even if it's within the alarm radius, because you don't want the thing going off all the time when a plane's just flying overhead. As soon as it's no longer, approaching, you can turn that off. And depending, it also works relative to ground level. So although the altitudes are displayed in above sea level, it's if you're at 1,000 feet and you set your alarm altitude to anything, say 1,000 feet, well, it's 2,000 feet above sea level. So it takes into account all the variations and things. So a lot of stuff added in that.
So it's not you're not pulling altitude from the. So you're polling the GPS every once in a while in the Android phone to.
No, just once. You just set it up because you're not
Just
going to be
once.
moving once you've. Yeah. Yes. So you can, and what it'll
And you
it's a two-way
you
link.
can't
So
add
you can,
you can't add a GPS.
you could add a GPS, but I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. Most people have got a phone; they don't have a GPS module. I want to keep the the cost of bits. And also, there's a little buzzer you can put on a couple of GPIO pins to go beep beep beep. To make an audio. Obviously, you want to be able to hear it if you're flying FPV. So, but you don't need that if you're a beta tester because you can see on the screen if it's alarming. But in the when you want to use them in the field, you need a little $2 buzzer that plugs into the GPIO pin and screams at you.
Surely. Well, that would be great. I will look forward to testing that.
What we need now is to have a 3D printed case for it in the shape of the tower. No, in the shape of the tower of
Tokoroa Tower. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
And when a plane comes along, a little picture of the old mare comes along and scares it away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Louis, it's been ages since we've seen you. What have you been doing with yourself? And I hope you're well.
Oh my God, real life and work just killed me. Hey, I'm on theoretically I'm on vacation this week. Theoretically.
All right. Theoretically,
so what are you
it's
doing
not
here?
working out. Oh, Think Flight now. Now, Mr. Think Flight, Bot Grinder's just sorry, Lou, I'm dropping into this. He's just got into wings. You need to talk to Bot Grinder about with your new wing. I thought it was a fairly amusing video from Mr. the Bot Grinder, especially. I like that, but there's no. How do you turn? There's no rudder. How do you turn? No, you're.
No one told him about bank and yank. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I was.
But do you know what we should be talking about today? The number one thing today. Have you watched Juan Brown, Blancalerio channel, or that other guy? There's another guy too. Increasingly, people in the aviation industry in the USA are warning that that there's going to be a big crash at a major airport because of the ATC failures.
Yes.
Video of Juan Brown's. He's just in the last few days, almost every day, there is a near miss at an airport. And the FAA's responsibility, that's their responsibility, but they're too busy. Their response to having all these near misses with jet airliners at major airports is, let's have a drone safety day. What the hell are they thinking?
Come on. They're so busy. They're so busy looking out of spare parts falling from Boeing airplanes.
I know. The US aviation situation is a disaster at the moment. And all I can do is come up with drone safety day. Well, drones are already safe. What do you need a special day for? Are you celebrating the fact that you haven't messed it up so far that people have died yet? What's going on?
One of those
keep them busy. Keep them busy. While they're busy, they're not doing new crazy laws.
Well, the one incident I found staggering was the aircraft that was allowed to depart with not one, not two, not three, but four aircraft crossing the runway. That was terrible. And
absolutely.
Also, I'm amazed to discover that FAA are only just beginning to really want safety management systems over there for aviation setups. Now, we've had them here for years. I'm terribly anxious about flying for the first time in my life. Have you not flown? I can't believe he's not flown. It just, safety management systems have been around for ages here.
And they forced them on everyone else.
They did. They have. Yeah. Yes, that's true. Yes.
Gary, the talk of the week is your interesting conversation, not with gray drones, not with orange drones, but with green drones.
Drones.
How do you make it?
How do I make it? What do you mean? How did that happen?
Have you seen Kevin Fenicer comments on LinkedIn?
What's Kevin said? I haven't seen those.
I may have had a conversation or two with Kevin.
Well, Kevin's such a diplomatic guy. He probably shrouded it all in diplomatic terms. What did he say?
I'll get the post up. Hang on. Okay.
No,
Quick,
This is
find
YouTube.
some-
It's a family-rated program.
No, I think one of the key questions you or Ian didn't ask was companies, commercial customers don't just go and fly manually or use the default app. They always
I know the question you're going to ask, and I did ask that question.
You
the
asked
answer
it
is,
sideways.
but I did, and he ducked it sideways as well, because the answer is they're not integrated yet. I did, and I'd asked him that before. I asked Randall, and he told me that they were working on it. But it's a very interesting thing. I think I obviously I'd had a couple of conversations with Randall. Did he get alarmed? I suppose that's the wrong word. But when we found a couple of Sundays before, when we found that FCC filing for them, Kevin and his other friend and other people, Sparky's after the ADSB receiver file. We'll talk about that again in a minute, Sparky. But so he reached out and said, "Hey, look, I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you what's happening," so that the guesses I was making didn't get more outrageous. And I've had a couple of conversations with him, and he seems, a pretty genuine chap. But I'm astounded. But I'm just astounded that they've launched it with. I'm sorry, Lou, but I'll let you go then. But I'm astounded that they've launched it without having done that security check first. I'm astounded. But there we are.
It's marketing and launch dates. Everything has to be done on a very tight schedule. So I completely understand it. At least he created the buzz.
Yes.
At least in US, us not US people. Okay, another Skydio that won't ever be sold outside of US. That's the same as Skydio.
No, he's ready to sell it outside of the US, but I don't think that was on his mind to start with. But it has been through certification. But a little bit on that, because of the reason you'd instantly say Skydio is not going to be sold outside of the US is because of the ITAR problems that's going to affect any American drone product coming out of there. They are loosening ITAR for AUKUS countries. Gary was the Prime Showcase at the Q booth. Oh, his Prime Showcase? Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Obviously, Recovery Drone is at the booth. But yeah, no, they're loosening the ITAR regulations, which is very interesting. And that's for the AUKUS, the Australia, UK, America thing. Nuclear submarines and all these other big gadget things.
The five sisters of the three-letter word agencies.
Yeah. So that's a first chink in that ITAR armor. And really, if the American industry does want to sell everywhere or be super successful, they've got to drop ITAR. They've got to loosen ITAR somehow. Because really, the US isn't a big enough market on its own, I don't think. And DJI will be proving that, because I don't think Skydio has made as many units as DJI sell in one day. I don't think they've produced it. They just don't have the scale. But sorry, Lou, I'm stopping from the green thing. So you're a commercial user. What's your thoughts on the green thing? Too small, probably, for you.
There is a very good use case for the green thing. But the issue is, hey, where's the SDK? And will it have the same bugs of the three-letter Shenzhen company SDK have, or will there be workarounds? Because at the moment there are fatal issues with the current SDK from that Shenzhen company. And the post from Kevin, oh God, I started laughing when I read it. Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that legible for on your screens, or is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can read.
Yeah.
Is it? Can you? Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So that's Kevin's 7 questions. Should you be meeting him at the booth? And good for Kevin, you know. He knows his onions. Out and as ever, it's like having a conversation with Kevin. It's like having a conversation with Tridge. I just understand the odd English word, and that's about it. They're so
Well, the fun
far
thing
ahead
about
of me.
Kevin, though, is you just say the right couple of words and he goes on for pages. You trigger him. He goes.
Yeah. I mean, and it is interesting that DJI set up their auto factory in Malaysia. And potentially that is the factory that these not.
How much Chinese influence is there in Malaysia? I know China's got a lot of influence in those Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries. How much has China bought of Malaysia already? One must wonder.
I don't think that's relevant so far. No, in the end, I really think that Randall did a very, very clever deal.
I do too. I do too.
And he's a commercial guy. He's a sales guy. He's a sales guy that has some liking for drones, and he might be able to beat the 3-letter company where on the same game, which is to establish a reliable sales network. He will fight with support. Hey, support is one of the key issues, especially on the commercial market. Look at what the guys of the 3D printer, the Bamboo Lab, have managed to do, and their problem is the support network. Because if you go to the social networks, you'll see, oh, support this, support that. Hey, I've already used Bamboo Lab support, no issues whatsoever. They're slow. Yes, they don't reply within 5 minutes. No. Hey, I'm not expecting that. I completely understand they must be over the top. That is one of the issues that cannot happen on the commercial market with Randall. So if Randall wants to have a good presence, he needs to have people picking up phones. And no use of putting ChatGPT replying to the phones. So that is, and establishing a support network with knowledgeable people on the other side of the line, it's also not cheap. So I really hope that he has a huge, and talk about huge margin on those drones, because support will eat a big part of it.
And will they have flyaway insurance? Will they have the replace insurance thing that DJI has, which is a really valuable tool? Yep.
It is. It's coming with 1 year's worth of it.
But most of the time, you won't be needing to have the DJI Care or the Randall Care type of support. You need someone to say, hey, press the green button on the display. That's what you need to do. So,
but I suppose that can be mitigated a little bit, Louis, because it's a very known product that's used everywhere. So users are going to have
product? Is it a known product?
I know where you're going with this.
Kitty Hawk has developed a shell for that. So hey, how far away from that shell?
That's exactly what I asked him. I asked him, would a user have the experience they're used to, when I was talking to him off the record.
Come on, Gary.
Yeah.
You pick an hotel and a DJI, and you'll be able to do 70% of the functionalities of both in a couple of minutes if you have some experience.
Yes.
But many commercial users have no experience whatsoever. I've been appalled with the level of knowledge of drones that many commercial users have. For many of them, that is another kind of hammer or screwdriver that they don't
Yes.
think they'll need to read the fine print. So that is it's not everyone that is a geek like us.
Yeah, like Bruce, mate, like Bruce. It's but yeah, I mean, most of the world expects click and go. And I was thinking about this also yesterday in relation to regulations. Of course, people aren't not complying because they want to be unlawful. They just don't care. It's not part of their thinking. They've using this drone to do a thing. They know what that thing is. They don't care about the regulations. And in some ways, why should they? It's a very interesting thing, isn't it? The real winner in the world, and it must be coming very soon, because as I've said now, and this will be on this one as well, I really think we've reached a tech of good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough to get a job done if you know what it's for. He's shaking his head. It'll get incrementally better. Now tell me why I'm wrong, Louis.
No, you're not wrong. Come on. Even the other day, now I always travel with the Mini 3 Pro from the 3-letter company on my suitcase, because it can go anywhere, and I can debug any situations that an automated drone flying at 200 meters high has. So I take off with the stupid Mini 3 and put it observing the behavior of the industrial drone to see what is going on. And it's another tool. Those things fly. They fly well. Okay, they're not Avatas 3 or 4, but for what is needed, it's good enough. And
yeah,
that I think that is one of the points of the green drone. It's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they've pitched that perfectly. I don't know what's happening with those other two, and we genuinely can't find much out about that Cognito company out of Hong Kong. They are definitely keeping their cards close to the chest, and I've no idea why they've only seeded a couple of YouTubers and what's happening. I've no idea. But it's very interesting. They're plainly all coming out of the same factory in Malaysia. There's no way there's two factories building this gear in Malaysia. There's no way at all.
I would have gone with another color. That's my criticism to the green color. I would have gone with a sky blue color, so that when the drone is parked in the air, you could not see it. So that's
well, green on top, blue on the bottom. That's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what the grey is on the DJI stuff, isn't it? It's conspicuity grey. So
and only in England where it's always cloudy.
Yeah, true. Kermit the drone, says Johnny. Exactly right. Well, it also could be a dig at the AUVSI's green scheme. That could definitely have been one of the reasons he said it wasn't, but it could have been. And that's got the color.
No, and look at us. We are already calling it the green drone.
Exactly. So we all know what we're talking about, don't we? And our dear viewer
save the planet
knows. Oh yes, he's coming up with
There's so many benefits to this color.
Yeah. No, I think it was clever.
At least here in
Portugal. Maybe it's made by that Korean company, Algae.
Oh dear.
Lucky Gold Star.
No. He can retract that last statement. He can retract that one.
Over here, we say that green is the color of hope. So
okay,
it's the color of influenza.
The color of hope. That's pretty amazing. I mean, it's all it's pretty good stuff. And did you see? I'm not going to bother put up the thing because it's on SS News. But did you see that Robinson Helicopters bought that coaxial thing
Yep.
That's pretty
They
amazing.
want a slice of that money that's on offer.
Well, that's the replicator money, but that thing doesn't fit very well into the replicator scheme.
But these are helicopter people. They don't know drones from beans.
Well, maybe.
DRL has been bought for $250 million. Drone Racing League, $250 million.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Who the heck?
I mean,
who bought that for that? What?
Oh, I can't remember.
What?
It's on the newswires. Yeah.
Oh,
$250 million.
Was it the same company that bought MotoGP a week ago? Well, MotoGP was a few hundred billions or millions, billions.
I wonder if they're thinking that all this FPV drone stuff in Ukraine, it's going to really up the profile of the whole thing.
It was interesting to note that they seem to think it's going to have a military application for training, because of Air Force and so forth. There seems to be some kind of link to Air Force training and so forth. So I think everyone's getting on this drones for military bandwagon. Robinson helicopters.
So that is what it is then.
Yeah,
because
that's why we've got the JetWorks 2.0.
USAF have announced a couple of things, and which UK force was it? I think it was the Army, and they did show DRL in both those things. So okay. That makes a lot of sense. So suddenly they do think it is very, very valuable. And interestingly, those things, it seems to me, are being set up outside of the replicator initiative, i.e. a few young airmen, airwomen and Navy types and all that sort of thing have said, hey, boss, we can do this. And that's what I firmly believe that's what actually needs to happen. We don't even need a government mandated thing to stand up. There'll be enough there'll not be enough youngsters out there in the forces that'll have the skills, they'll have the thumbs, and they'll be doing it at the weekend, and they should lead the drives. And if you want to set anything up in a replicator, let's get mass producing quick, that's the bit they won't be able to do, is the factory. But a factory is a factory, and as green drones have just proved, I'll just open a factory in Malaysia and get it done. You want stuff built, you don't have the inventor always building the thing all the way through, do you? Anyway, cool, that was a rant.
Yeah.
That's where I'll finish now. Yeah. I'll finish now. Yes, I'm sorry. That's my thought on that one. Gerald, Nico Air Racing. I can't see where the sail is on the wires.
I put a tweet up.
Did you?
I did a tweet.
Oh,
yeah, Forbes have got it.
Did you?
But it's firewalled.
Oh, God.
It was Infinite Reality buys Drone Racing League for $250 million.
Infinite
it's on Bloomberg.
Reality.
But it's a paywall on Bloomberg. It says, do you want me to read it out?
Yeah.
Drone racing, once a niche hobby, has become the latest sports play after the Drone Racing League was acquired by metaverse firm Infinite Reality for $250 million. Drone racers fly quadcopters, aircraft with 4 propellers. Often pilots wear virtual reality goggles that receive a feed from the camera embedded in the drone and maneuver as if they were in the craft itself in order to steer it. As part of the acquisition, Infinite Reality will take on DRL's staff, while DRL's chief executive officer, they've spelled it wrong, this is Forbes, by the way, and founder Nicholas, I can't pronounce his name, will become Infinite Reality's global president. Infinite Reality is a technology provider.
Global president.
This is other investors include Liberty Media, T-Mobile, CAA Ventures, Lux Capital, RSC Ventures.
T-Mobile.
Liberty Media, the owners of F1, MotoGP. They just got the change from the purchase of MotoGP. We have 250 million here. Just what can we buy? Drones.
This is DRL has partnerships with NBC, Sony, and US Air Force.
The US Air Force one's been around for a while, but I've seen it used in context from units now. There we go. It's still like watching paint dry, if you ask me. But anyway, I don't get it.
What's Amazon doing though? They put 2 press releases out in one day, didn't they? One says they're stopping their drone delivery operations in California and they're starting them in Arizona. Perhaps it's because Arizona is big and unoccupied and is very sparse and there's less risk that they can, because they've crashed a few. So maybe they're thinking, well, if we do it in Arizona, we're not going to kill as many people as if we do it in California.
Can I be a bit naughty about Amazon?
Yeah, sure. Go for it, Louis.
Do you guys remember that a couple of weeks ago they closed the fully automated shops because all the AI they had
was Indian people?
was
people. So I believe their autonomous drones are on the same category.
Well, come on, look! The things are flipping huge for a tiny payload.
I know
they're huge.
You can't go flying those over bloody Californian suburbs. People will complain. I think there's like 45 Karens per block in California.
Per square meter.
Yeah, there's much fewer Karens per square meter in Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bruce, be quiet because apparently they're growing. They're growing like wildfire in New Zealand.
Oh yeah. Actually, I've got 2 neighbours called Karen.
Well, there you go. There you go. Did we see, going back to Malaysia, the very, very, very inside the factory Indian man pedaling like crazy? Careful, cool cat. Careful. Did we see that very terrible formation helicopter crash? In Malaysia.
That was that was
terrible, proving once more that crude aviation is not necessarily the safest. And in
it's
Kenya,
its own biggest risk.
Hold on.
It is.
Is safest when the rules are followed. Is safe. Well, come on. Don't tell me bad things about Man Aviation because
you can't say that.
I'm a good customer of Man Aviation.
Structural failure doesn't follow rules.
But
it does to a point.
Boeing says no.
No. Well, that's it. I'm trying to find a picture. It's my preparedness. I didn't know we'd go down this path. Did you see the Boeing versus accident? Boeing versus Airbus accident.
Boeing versus Airbus.
Yeah,
the battle of the Titans, eh?
Have you looked at the vertical scale? Isn't that logarithmic? So you can make one bigger than the other.
I think.
I think 10 people died.
Lots of dodginess in the presentation because, as we know, statistics are just.
I know
lies,
how
lies,
to do that trick too. If I want to show off something, I know that trick too. Hey, Excel is our friend.
Absolutely. And Cool Cat, the helicopter thing in Malaysia, I think it was 12 people, wasn't it, Bruce? And
10,
2 helicopters.
But
was it 10?
Report I said 10. Yeah.
But it was a mid-air pulling, no hand flying at the bar, but it was pulling. It was a brake maneuver, and one had obviously lost visual contact with the other, and they flew into each other. And then in Kenya this week, a couple of day before yesterday, a big helicopter crash that killed just about all the top brass of the Army, Navy, and Air Force there, including the man.
Still to be determined what caused that crash.
Definitely the ground was involved. Definitely.
Yep.
I can exclusively reveal that the ground was involved in that one. So edges us filled Airbus aircraft. Yes, that's right.
But it is Drone Safety Day on the 27th. Don't forget, Drone Safety Day, the 27th. We need a Drone Safety Day.
Why the 27th?
That's the FAA made it the 27th. That's what they've said. Drone Safety Day. Yeah, it's an official thing. FAA. While airliners are potentially crashing into each other, falling out of the sky, bits falling off them, drone safety is the order of the day. Someone needs to have. I don't know.
Speaking of Elon, isn't Elon that has managed to do some kind of record of landing rockets?
In the most pieces?
No, in as much pieces as possible as departed.
When you say Elon, do you actually mean the excellent engineers? Yeah, I think
Come on. I know that maestros tend to compliment all the first players on an orchestra. He is the maestro, so it's Elon.
Yeah, I mean, without Elon, we wouldn't have had men already colonizing Mars and there wouldn't be all those hyperloops around America connecting cities for $1 a trip. We've got to thank him for these things.
Now, I'm going to send Elon an email because we need a hyperloop to New Zealand. So you can.
No, he's got intercontinental rocket travel too. Didn't you see them promising that? Yeah.
Come on, Bruce. The sky will fall on your head if you look up. I'm sure you'll find one.
Only if the ISS is overhead. They found that was a big piece of what the hell is it? Inconel. That big thing that went through that guy's roof, Mr. Ortega's roof. It was a piece of Inconel from the pellet. So that's why it didn't burn up. Inconel's pretty heat resistant. But I haven't heard NASA saying, "Oh, we'll give you some compensation" or anything. It's like, give us back our Inconel. It's really expensive.
Has anyone seen the comet? I will ask, because
no,
nothing to do.
Oh yeah, someone has, I'm sure.
Yes, well, yes, there's a photo of it in the in the eclipse. But yeah, I haven't. It's flipping been cloudy every night. It'll be gone. But yeah. Well, maybe I'll see it next time in 77 years or whatever it is. Maybe. You never know.
Did you see Halley's comet when it came through, or Halley's the way you pronounce it?
I did.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? Fantastic.
It was. Yeah. It was. That's what put me to mind to it. Really, I saw it lots of times. And one particular time, pull up a sandbag, stopped next to Stonehenge and saw it. And I could have actually created a photo and then put something like "Live, Love, Life" or "It's
Did you have the robes on
before the dawn," or of course.
You druid.
Exactly. I never drive anywhere without the robes. Never. Yeah, no. But I could have created one of those horrible lifestyle memes.
But speaking of space, biggest story of the week: Voyager's talking again.
Yes.
How clever is that? They got Voyager talking. They moved the location into a different memory location. And I put a tweet out this morning. Imagine if Apple had built Voyager 1. The day after the warranty expired, if there was a fault, they'd say, no, just replace the motherboard. They wouldn't have worked like the engineers do in NASA. So many times they've rescued craft from the edge of oblivion by coming up with clever workarounds and things. That's what engineering's all about. That's such a inspiring thing when they do that. It's 22 light hours away and they fixed it.
22 light hours. What does that mean in time?
About 24 billion kilometers.
Goodness me.
It takes nearly a day for the radio signal to reach it and for the response to come back. So trying to work in that much latency, flying FPV like that, like they're doing at NASA with the goggles on in Voyager 1, that's pretty bloody impressive.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that from what I read, they only got movement telemetry. They didn't get anything else from the Voyager. So
yeah, they're still working on it though. And we were just getting random bits because the memory was corrupted. But now they've established they're actually getting valid data back, so they can continue working on with that. So, but man, it's 50-year-old technology. My goodness, it was like
that's the impressive thing. Yeah. That code had no patches for more than a week. So,
And the biggest threat to it would be the computer they were using to send the data. It would pop up and say, Windows is updating. Oh, no, in the middle of the transmission.
I see they're going to stop making Z80s.
Yes, the original Z80. They're still going to do the non-pin compatible ones and the smaller ones that they're making. Yeah, but that's another 50 years ago, wasn't it? The Z80.
Well, that's why I said it. Yeah.
It's also the 50-year anniversary of CPM. Everything happened half a century ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing, look, he's had to go now, and he's in tears.
The focus. Nostalgia.
The focusing on the camera means he can't shill a chair. He can't shill a chair.
A dentist chair.
He's not a professional like he's not a professional like Ian is. You know, if anyone's at Stonehenge, you buy if you cool cat, I'll pop in for a cup of tea. It's a bit drafty in your place there, cool. But you can't
close the door at Stonehenge.
And no wonder it's cool.
It's a bit crowded at the solstice, though, isn't it? Or is it the equinox? I can't remember when they do all their chanting and.
I don't know what the rules are in there now. Maybe perhaps Bruce will get the reference. What reference is it? Is it safe? Is it safe? Bruce, you're supposed to get this.
I've got nothing.
And happy St. George's Day, yes, cool cat.
Yes.
I see it. It's that's gathered up a dentist chair. it's gathered a bit more steam this year. It seems. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's the.
Is that a
that's the
Sinclair?
Q-
One of the old
It's a
Sinclairs.
QL, wasn't it?
No,
What's
no,
that one?
no. A Spectrum.
Oh, Spectrum.
Spectrum
That's
with the-
modern
with the-
by my standards.
Yeah,
with
but
with the fancy keyboard.
with a fancy keyboard.
Yeah.
And still running, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been working on calculating pi to 4 decimal places for 50 years.
Come on. Or
But as
playing
I-
Manic Miner. It's a different taste if you play Manic Miner or Jet Set Willy on a C8.
Yeah, but how crazy is that? I mean, like
the audio
50
is
years
much better, isn't it?
Yeah. 50 years ago, I was typing letters up on my computer and printing them out, right? And
Yeah.
since then, that we've got like orders of magnitude greater computing power, memory, processor speed, and it takes just as long for me to type up my letter. So
Yeah.
what have we
Yes.
gained?
Yes. Done.
Just waits a lot more quickly between keystrokes.
You try to type using GPT-4 and you tell him something and he writes a whole paragraph with one sentence only.
Yeah.
See, they're saying AI is using up too much power. We don't have enough power to run all the proposed AI systems.
I listened to a thing the other day, and I'm not gonna. I hope I'm not misquoting it too much, but I think they said if you put a question mark now in Google when you do your quote, it'll give you an AI generated thing on the end of your search result, and they said it's 3 watts a search. If that's true, then that's astounding. I'm sure it was 3 watts. I'm going.
But on the other hand,
I'm going to Google it right now.
Yeah, why not spend some money?
No,
But on the other
no,
hand,
no,
California is generating too much solar. They're saying California, the amount of solar generated during the middle of the day is actually turning energy prices inverse. So you can you're basically, it's costing you money to input energy and you're being paid to draw it out of the system because there's so much excess energy.
Why are we worried about the energy consumption of a search? Imagine all the energy that gets lost because cars are mandated to drive in daylight with lights on. How much energy is being thrown away because some random guy decided that cars should drive during daylight?
Only in Europe.
Yeah. But that is a system that has been propagated all over.
Yeah, but LED headlights now don't use much power.
No, I was.
Yeah, let's say 3 watts.
Yeah, it's not much, is it?
On every car.
That's not much.
So,
Yeah, stereo use more than that. You got it turned up.
Yeah.
I just saw it, but where is it?
VIC 20s. I never had the Commodores. I wanted a Commodore PET, but I never had a VIC 20 or 64 because they have a horrible screen display. The VIC 20 had like how many characters? 20 characters a line. That's why it's called VIC 20, wasn't it? It was a terrible thing.
I can't respond. I sold my first software that I wrote on a VIC 20, a Morse code generator.
Do you know that Elon Musk created a game? And when he was in South Africa, created a game, and it was, oh man, it was at Thunderfoot has some videos on Elon Musk. It's so funny because it was hyped as this fantastic game, and it was really nothing.
It was a Commodore Amiga, I think, called Atari STs were nice. So that was something I lusted after, and the Amiga. And the Amiga was
the Amiga was a great.
Had that render. Had that
toast. Yeah, had that engine
toaster
and good
board.
sound as well. Yeah. But I did some software development on Atari STs, the ST520, because they had a Motorola 68000 in them. They were really fun to program, actually. With GEM desktop, GEM, Digital Research GEM desktop. Going back now,
you should have used the BBC Micro. At least you would have a step up on the crazy ARM race that CPU.
I pestered my parents to let me go to what was supposed to be an adults only evening class in Chard, and it was exactly on the BBC Micro. So I was the 12-year-old in the room. going, "Whoa, this is great."
Well, BBC Basic was
then
excellent for a
others-
basic interpreter.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Steps ahead of
Yeah,
everything
it
else.
It was and it,
Cliff's
actually
talking
it almost. Sorry, go on, mate.
Oh no, Cliff's talking about pedestrian avoidance tests by some of Chinese car manufacturers. Oh, they just broke down so often they couldn't hit anything.
Well, and what I was going to say was, I think the computer industry, you know, it's quite dull now. Really, it's not. It
Yeah,
didn't
it's
feel
still
as
samey.
exciting.
No,
And the
Did you go to-
drone industry,
pedestrian testing? I've seen something on LinkedIn.
all this were fields
That's,
cool.
No, the one about the Zurich transport testing that to avoid collisions with pedestrians, they have an airbag in front of the vehicle. So,
that goes pop and throws you into the opposite lane where a bus hits you.
yeah, exactly.
Did you see the guys again? Is it Waymo, the autonomous cars in San Francisco?
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember what they're called, whatever they're called.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of
Standing there with
several types.
a T-shirt with
Yeah.
a stop sign on the T-shirt and stopping them, and they stop because they see the
I
stop
pity
sign.
the fool that doesn't have the stop sign.
Well, quite
And
a
then
way.
someone
Yeah.
comes up and robs the vehicle. No?
Well,
don't know.
that's kind of that sort of thing would happen here. But if you don't want those autonomous cars coming, or any autonomous cars coming around your city, and machine vision's part of it, and they're told to stop when they see the word stop in the stop sign, fantastic.
Now, what I'm interested in, see how there's been GPS denial over parts of Europe recently?
Yeah.
Yep. And we're moving towards these autonomous flying taxis. And what's going to happen when we have GPS denial in a city where we release flying taxis and it's a misty, foggy day, so optical systems don't work? What's going to happen to the poor people in those flying taxis? How are they mitigating this?
There will be part of a nice statistic.
Yeah, exactly. But no, recreational drones are more important. Let's have a drone safety day.
Did we all see? I can't remember. Did we all see that Mark Rober video about
With the vortex cannon? No,
Yeah, no, you didn't see it. No.
I didn't watch it yet. No.
All right. Oh, well, you should have done, because it's a fantastic advert for Andril, and I'm not entirely sure it contains 100% correct information, but it was interesting how they were mitigating against pulse high energy laser weapons, or even they were talking about it, and the people that were shouting me down for Bruce's mirror idea on LinkedIn, you might want to think again, because they came up with some interesting stats on that. Let's try and find that and at least have that running on the side here. There it is. All right, let's put that in here. I hope you can't hear that, can you?
No.
All right, let's skip the advert. And
Sometimes
the
that's
vortex.
the best bit.
Sometimes it is the best bit. Yeah, that's it. So here it is. How do we do?
Have you got the bandwidth for this?
We'll find out now, won't we? So he's selling these STEM kits. That's good. Andril. Chasings. Code. Shoot down drones. So it's my thought on this was, this is not too groovy for our industry or for the rest of us. Shooty rocket thing, shooty make a model. I just want to get to the air. The cannon.
Nerf darts.
No, the cannon was quite impressive. This is all shilling at the kits. Oh, another advert.
Oh God, it's a giant ad, is it? Oh, this is a Lego ad. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess who uses my computer a lot?
You.
Me, yeah, exactly. Here's a cannon. But this cannon's actually, it's for bird scaring, which I never knew. In the real world, it's a bird scaring cannon. There they are. Core rope. Core rope. Yeah. Oh well, no. Anyway, go and watch that video for yourself. It did work. It was. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Colin Furze built a vortex cannon, I think, at one stage too.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he
but
built
he
one.
actually built it. So he didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Those
No.
guys just bought it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did half want to say. Oh, and the Chat GPT thing, I was the how much AI power. I was wrong by an order of magnitude. It's
It's 30 watts.
No, not even like not 3 kilowatts for a standard Google search, and 0.3 of a kilowatt for an AI search. There's still a
So
bit
just
of
write a
energy.
script that repeatedly searches with a question mark, and you'll bankrupt Google with power charges. But did you see a lot of the tech companies are getting into energy now? They're investing in energy because they know they're going to need so much energy for their AI centers that they want to be part of the industries that's supplying that, so they're not being held to ransom. Interesting.
Yeah, no, it is, isn't it? It is, and the North Sea, all the wind turbines, we can get it around to 0.3, so 300 watts. Yeah, that's it, Cliff. Rather than 0.0003 for a standard search. There's still a bit of power, considering everyone. Well, not everyone, but a good
Let's
number of
melt
people
down a
must
Google
do it.
data center. Everybody ready?
That's a denial of service attack, isn't it? It's a pity
Is
you
that why
can't
X was off stream for an hour or so the other day? Maybe everyone used Grok and it fell over.
Yes, has anyone here used Grok? I haven't used
No.
Grok. I couldn't use Grok. No. It's your sort of thing, Louis? Grok?
Yeah.
No.
As everyone, I went, played the 5 minutes with it, saw it. Okay, next.
Yeah. Did you see Elon is touting X as being your next bank? You can have all your money in X. You learn interest and things.
Oh, lorks.
Who would put their
No,
money in the
no,
bank
guys.
of a man who's made so many
Louis
unfulfilled
will.
promises?
Louis will.
No.
Louis will.
What
This is
what
this is why.
What is going on in China with a huge number of users of WeChat? They use WeChat for everything, payments, authorizations, everything. It will be much harder to do. It will be much harder to pull up a stunt like that outside of China. But I'm absolutely sure, and I believe there are comments of Elon some time ago that he would like to have a platform to do that, and X/Twitter, whatever its name will be, is his way to do it.
So the phrase "I'm an ex-millionaire" will have a new meaning soon.
No, come on. He already did PayPal.
Yes.
So he wasn't as instrumental or pivotal in PayPal as he likes to make people think he was. He got bought out very early on in the whole thing he was. You want to read the background on that?
Yeah, no. Irrespective, he gets credit for that. So I believe he wants to have an all-encompassing platform that you can put a lot of services on top of that platform, the same way that WeChat does. And hey, WeChat works really well within its environment, and it's used by more people than any other platform outside of China. So it just works.
I love Cliff's comment. Your money will be banked on Mars by the winter of 2025.
Yeah.
You have to go to the physical agency of our bank, situated in Mars, whatever.
You go by Hyperloop, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, I bet the creditors of X and the ex-employees that were let go and haven't been paid, I bet they'll be pleased to hear this.
Well, so the money when I used to work in the supermarket used to go via Hyperloop.
Yeah, the old pneumatic tubes, they were brilliant, eh?
Yeah,
and the little receipt would come back. Woo.
Yeah, in a past life, I worked at a supermarket chain. Do you know what pain in the butt it is when one of those pneumatic capsules would open and spread the money over 300, 400 meters of pneumatics?
Yeah.
Don't.
Imagine if that was a bigger capsule filled with squishy people.
Yeah.
Who's going to clean that up?
You sod. You're not wrong though. Yeah, but it's just like this idea, that he's invented the Hyperloop. It's like, well, if you'd been here a bit earlier in life, you'd have seen them in every small town. Anyway, it's how do.
But he does reinvent a lot of stuff and then put it in the public domain. He's not going to patent it. Nothing to do with prior art. I'm
generous. Yeah, exactly. I'm generous, and I'm gonna sort it. It'll be all right. I'll sort it out.
I particularly like when you invented the tunnel. Yeah, that was good.
The tunnel. Yeah. I invented stopping by hitting the earth, whatever you'd call that.
So, are we guessing that Ian is putting his goggles 3 back together after his tear down?
One would hope so.
Yeah. It's quite surprising. I was quite. Yeah, he managed to take those things apart pretty well. It wasn't.
Did you see the guy pulling down the DJI power box? They made a power box, one of those. Yeah, they're making a lot of stuff outside drones now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, that's that. Ian's pretty convinced that's a direct dig, because that was another company set up by ex-DJI employees, and DJI aren't very happy with it. Is grow what I know. EcoFlow is the one that they think that's just DJI's direct dig at trying to get rid of them, because they're hacked off with those people, which I find quite extraordinary if that is the case, that they set up a division to do that. But that said, they've got the batteries for all sorts of other things. They might as well join into that bandwagon.
I think using LFP cells in there.
Yeah, it was quite a useful size.
But they are diversifying, really pushing hard on the camera side of things now, and maybe they realise that that US market may not be open to them at some stage, so they've got to make sure they've got products they can sell to the US market.
But
they forced through the TikTok thing, haven't they? Has it gone to another voting stage? Yeah, that moved forward again this week.
Yeah.
But after they purchased that camera company,
Hasselblad. Yeah.
It's the bloke that runs on a beach.
It was expected they would have done more camera related stuff, and they were quiet and very not doing anything with that asset. So I really would like them to have better cameras on their stupid drones.
I thought their cameras were great. They got global shutter again now.
Yeah. That's today. One of the topics of the previous conversation was how many activations does that shutter resist? You know that we had Nikon had 200,000 activations of the mechanical shutter. Canon had also 200,000 activations. How many activations of that mechanical shutter of those cameras?
So why do they use a mechanical shutter, Louis? Why don't they use an LCD?
A rolling shutter.
No.
Bananas.
Yeah, no. LCD. You could have a global shutter with an LCD.
No.
Replacing the mechanical piece with the LCD itself. No moving parts.
They haven't managed to do that anywhere.
And how does the global shutter work then?
It's a curtain.
Yeah.
That closes both sides.
Yeah.
Or like this. No,
yeah.
I think it's vertical. Yeah.
So an LCD could just go black and it does the same thing. Stops the light getting through.
Yeah, but then you lose light going in because you have to have the LCD in front. So
yeah, but you can compensate by having a larger sensor.
Then you have a larger sensor. You need a bigger LCD. You need a bigger lens.
IMAX.
Yeah. So then we have a phase one camera. The price of the camera is $150,000 and another.
Why don't they just go back to CCDs? They were a global shutter by default with a CCD. It was brilliant. CCD cameras were great.
Pinhole. Yeah. That's what I say.
Actually, funny you should say that. I've just about finished a video. I'm flying a drone with FPV without a lens in the camera.
You
You'd
Why?
be surprised how well it works.
You lost the lens of the camera.
I hope you're using Mesh-tastic for your comms. You know, if you're going to be putting out videos like this, you've got to have all the words, Bitcoin, Mesh-tastic, and all the others, all the phrases. AI. Oh yeah, how could I forget that? How could I forget that?
We saw that ad I put up on my other channel, Bruce Simpson channel, advertising that. Oh god! And I'm getting so many ads with this AI voice track and these products you can buy from AliExpress for $10 being flogged for $100 with a special knockdown price of 50% off because the people are going to take this ad down. And there's this engineer guy's invented this thing. It's just the same formula, and they're spitting this stuff out. And YouTube goes, "We see no scams."
It's I report those, and I report stuff on LinkedIn as well, and I'll come to that one.
What I've been reporting is those crazy channels that have absolutely fully automated video, fake voice, fake images.
And some of them get millions of views per video. It's like, well, what? They're making a fortune, aren't they?
Yeah. And then you report them, and you report stuff on LinkedIn and on Facebook, and it comes back and says, our report finds that it meets our terms and conditions.
Yeah, of course, because they're paying us money.
Exactly. It's like, my goodness me. And as you say, Louis, those completely automated things, it's just, I don't know. It's the art
and you notice
going out of it.
You've got to put a little thing now to say whether there is synthetic content in your videos. They don't have to put that in the ads. And also, there's no way to filter to say, I don't want to see videos with synthetic content. So it's pointless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'd like to have a filtering thing where it says no shorts, no synthetic content. And then I just have real proper long form videos. But no, you can't filter out shorts and you can't filter out synthetic content. So there's no point in having that flag. Because it only shows up if you look in the description. It doesn't show up on the video itself or anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. A cool cat saying, did you see the footage of Nevada 3 losing signal after flying through a rock formation?
Yeah, the backtracks to the point where the signal's lost. Ian showed it in one of his videos too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see
I don't know why it does that though, because it's like if you're flying along and it loses signal, it continues going for a couple of seconds, then it turns around 180 degrees, flies back to the point where the signal was lost, and then ascends vertically to your return to home thing. So it's not going to guarantee if you fly into a cave and the signal's lost 10 feet into a cave and then you travel another 50 feet, you're still going to hit the roof of the cave.
Hey, come on, Bruce. You have to admit, it's cool to have the drone lose the signal and then rotate and come back to where it had signal and go up.
They've got 46 gigabytes of storage on there. Why can't they backtrack the entire flight path?
Yeah, they can copy what Autopilot has with the smart return to home.
Yeah.
Keep talking. Because we had that on.
We found something.
No, well, we had the smart. You say Autopilot, and we had Dean Goad had it on Autopilot before anyone. And not only that, smart return to home.
But the thing is that
power available as well, and the wind as well.
Yeah, but given modern technology, if you can see the drone, you've got control, right? And you're not allowed to fly BV lost. So what's the point?
Oh, yes, Your Honour. Yeah.
Surely you're not suggesting that people are flying beyond visual line of sight. I can't believe it.
No.
Not in this day of safety. Not when drone safety day is just a few days away.
Just a few days away. Mark it in your calendars. Best we have a special edition then. Special drone safety day edition. Yeah. Well, it's on a Tuesday. If it's on a Tuesday, we can have it.
Isn't that Oculus Sync 4 able to go 20 or 30 kilometers?
13, they claim. It's probably like the original DJI. It's got a hard limit based on latency, return of packets and things. They're saying 13 kilometers for the Avata. But in CE countries, it goes a lot further than the Avata 1 because now they're using 5.2 gigs at 200 milliwatts, whereas they were only using 25 milliwatts on 5.8 in the original one, and the O3 and so forth.
Yeah, but also apparently the FCC Act does not work. So
no, it doesn't. It doesn't increase the power level because you don't really need it so much with the new one because it's got pretty good range anyway, even in CE countries. And I mean, DJI would never do anything that would let you break the law with your drones. I mean, they're geofence for goodness sake.
It looks like a tidy piece of kit, though, to be fair. I mean, it does.
I found a few reviews of people that don't much like it, actually. People have had the Avata
Okay.
1 and the FPV drone, and they've come up with some, like one guy, a French guy, says the goggles are terrible. He doesn't like the goggles. He's going to use his original Integra goggles as soon as they support the drone. And another guy pointed out that it's nowhere near as powerful as the FPV drone. And
Ian thinks that.
Yeah. And so it has a role, but I don't think if I had an Avata 1, I'd be upgrading, because if I had an Avata 1 and I was into FPV, I'd be buying a proper freestyle drone, because that's the next step up.
Yeah,
not going to a new incarnation of the,
Yes.
And it's still got the washout thing. People have tested it. Still has the washout flip thing. Doesn't quite flip, but it still exhibits that dropping a thing because of the turbulent airflow over the props when you're going sideways. So they haven't fixed that.
That's not easily fixable, because
no, it's a aerodynamic constraint.
They're fighting physics.
Yep.
And it always wins.
You can't change the laws of physics, Captain.
You can. Oh no, that'll get Cliff banging on about Star Trek now. Oh, what did you just do? What did you just do? Oh,
and Cliff says, have you heard how the pizza delivery trial in Huntley has gone? If it has at all. No, they've cancelled that. That was Flirty, which later became something else. Drone.
Oh, they
something or other. Yeah, it's cancelled.
The plane died. Yeah,
well, that died.
Yeah.
That was like all drone delivery trials. They're trials, and then they'll just be, apart from Zipline that has some really good use cases, everybody else has just got a solution for a problem that doesn't exist.
Well, there was another report that said it's the most efficient way of doing last mile deliveries. It beats bikes, beats this, beats that, beats the other. A report from the Drone Delivery Association or wherever, I should think.
But the Trebuchet Association would disagree.
But it just, to me, it just smacks of at what point does it become a little bit obscene to be having a packet of biscuits delivered as fast as possible. I don't know. It's just, I'm very pro drone delivery, as you know, but at some point it's not the right thing to do.
I worked out why Amazon's drone is so big.
Why?
Have you seen the boxes they put tiny little things in? They come in great boxes, so they have to have a big drone for delivering your tube socks, because it comes in the box that's this big. Oh.
But I think
want to save the planet, use smaller boxes.
This isn't a max 5. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Something like max 5 kilo payload with it, or something like that.
Something like that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
If we can't fly a 250 gram drone over people's heads, how can you fly a drone that has a payload of 5 kilograms over people's heads?
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
It's all nonsense, and man, crewed aviation's really got to come to the party now. But for more on that, just join me on LinkedIn and argue. Please come argue on LinkedIn with me. Dear, look, hour and 7. We've gone over the hours.
Time has flown. I
was going to try and make it biscuits. I just want biscuits beamed to me, Scotty. Yeah.
So for those people who asked before about the ADSPLM, I'm doing a limited beta trial where I'm going to send out the ISO for the SD card to people who have got a Raspberry Pi 4 with 2 gigs or better, and an RTL SDK, which Gary's got one sitting there, mine's on the other desk. And yeah, if you got those 2 things, you can participate in the trial. I want to get people in all quadrants of the planet, because I want to make sure I haven't goofed the math. And an Android phone would be useful, so you can set up coordinates and things for your home point and your alarm distances and so forth. So I shall do it, because I want to be able to do, when I actually release it publicly, I want to have all the frequently asked questions in a list instead of having to respond to 1,000 emails.
Yeah, it'll be a fun thing to try, that's for sure, and people have been looking forward to it. So
yes, sure. And it's the spring, coming into the flying season in the Northern Hemisphere. So
yes,
with 3 degrees.
So it's weird to say. What are you talking about? And what did they sing? No, never mind. 3 degrees.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'm with you there.
Yes, you got there in the end. Well done. Yeah, I'll just wait here. I'll just wait. I'll be waiting here.
The penny will drop.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Hey, I could do that. Oh, a flipping dropped,
and I get change.
It dropped onto the mouse mat initially, so it didn't make any noise. Anyway, I never worked for the BBC in special effects.
You must be feeling quite relaxed now, Gary, because they tell me change is as good as a holiday.
Oh, there you go. Changes gives the rest. Exactly. Right. It's time to go, dear viewer.
It is.
Wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much. Look after yourselves. We'll see you again. Patrick was supposed to be talking to us from AUVSI, but he's not. So there we are. I sent him a link and no response. But we'll see you again and we'll find out what happened at AUVSI. Until the next time, 2100 Gin and Tonic next Tuesday. Look after yourselves, everyone. Take care.